As soon as you make money, the first thing that's going to happen is the government is going to take their share in taxes, so whatever's left is your net. As soon as you get paid, the government's going to take their share of taxes, but some of you are going to have the option to invest your money before or after your taxes, depending on what kind of system you use, usually something like a 401k. So if that's something you're using at your job, this would either be right here or here if you're using a Roth 401k. So as soon as you pay your taxes, you pay your 401k if you have one, then your net income needs to be deposited directly into your checking account. I used to guest teach in Detroit Public Schools, and what I learned there was they had all these kids that were working jobs, but many of these kids did not have a checking account where their paychecks were deposited into. Instead, these kids were getting physical checks, and then they were taking their checks and they would go over to a liquor store, and then they would pay the liquor store owner 1 to 10% of their paycheck to get cash for their own money. So you're having to pay a liquor store owner cash to get access to your own money, and then once they have this cash, half of the check is going to go to Cheetos and pop on the way out. You need your money deposited directly into your checking account, and one of the worst things that you can do is rely on payday loans to make ends meet for 2 or 3 days. The way payday loans work is for every $100 or so that you borrow, your payday loan company is going to charge you somewhere between $10 and $30. Now, this $10 or $30 fee might not seem like a lot of money, but compared to how much money you're borrowing, and that 10 or 30% interest that you have to pay is just for borrowing money for a month. That's why if you amortize the real cost of your payday loans over the course of a year, these payday loans are actually costing you somewhere between 300% APR and 500% APR. Okay, payday loans are destroying your wealth. So create a calendar, know when your money's coming in, that way you can rely on your actual income and not the payday loan. The second thing you have to do is save $2,000 in a separate savings account as fast as possible. This $2,000 that you want to save needs to go in a separate savings account because this is emergency money. This is money if your car breaks down or if something really bad happens, you can rely on this cash to protect you. That way you don't have to go into debt or use your credit card to finance something that you cannot afford. This money needs to be saved as soon as possible because if you do not have $2,000 saved up for an emergency, you are in financial danger. Okay, before they used to say, oh, all you need is $1,000 to start your savings account, but that was like 2 decades ago. Now, if you factor in inflation and the increased price and cost of living, you need at least $2,000 right now saved up for an emergency so you get out of this danger financial zone. The reason I'm saying this needs to go into a separate savings account, not the stock market or any other investment account, is because this money needs to be liquid, meaning in cash, which means easily accessible, and it needs to be predictable. If you put this money in the stock market, well, if the stock market tanks tomorrow and you need this cash, well, this $2,000 might only be worth $1,000. So you need this cash somewhere in a predictable liquid account, like a savings account. That way you can access it whenever you need in case you need it. But this is not money you should be using when Apple releases a new phone. So if you do not have a separate savings account, or if you do not have $2,000 saved up right now for emergencies, what you need to do is you need to open up a new savings account tomorrow, and then next time you get paid, you need to save as much of that paycheck as you can as fast as possible because you need to get to $2,000 saved as fast as humanly possible. Now, as soon as you get paid your net salary, so this is after your taxes, after your 401k investment, this net income that you make is going to hit your checking account automatically. Then what you need to do is you need to save $2,000 as fast as possible in a separate savings account. So if you don't have $2,000 saved up yet, you need to take as much of your net income as possible and put this money into this account. That way you can save $2,000 because if you don't have $2,000 saved up, you are in financial danger. Then it's time for step number 3. Now we're going to pay down your high interest debts. So after you have $2,000 saved up, what you want to do is you want to pay down any high interest debt. So this might be credit card debt, this might be payday loans. So any high interest debt that you have, you want to pay this down as fast as possible right now after you save $2,000 because this money is skinning you alive financially. This money that you're paying 15, 16, 17% interest on is so expensive and it is destroying your wealth. It is making your credit card company wealthy. It is making your hard money lender wealthy. It is making this payday loan company wealthy, but it is keeping you broke. You need to save this $2,000 first because if you don't save this $2,000 and you start paying down your credit card debt, and then your car breaks down, and then you have to pay $800 to fix your axle, well, now you're gonna have to go back into credit card debt to have the money to fix the car. So you took a step forward, and then you took 2 steps backward. That's why you need to save some cash first while making your minimum payments, and then when you have a little bit of a cushion, now you need to be aggressive at paying down all of your high interest debts. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.